Have you ever felt like the world is constantly pulling you in a million different directions, leaving you unsure of which path to take? It's exhausting, isn't it? In a society that bombards us with opinions, expectations, and distractions, it's easy to feel lost. You might even doubt yourself, wondering if you'll ever make the right decisions or find your true purpose. Here's the truth no one tells you: the answer isn't out there, it's within you. Your inner voice, that quiet whisper of intuition, holds the key to navigating life's chaos with clarity and confidence. And here's something even more surprising: learning to listen to that voice is easier than you think. But here's the twist: most people have forgotten how to listen. We've been conditioned to trust logic, follow the rules, and ignore the subtle feelings that tell us what's truly right for us. The good news? You don't need years of training or mystical powers to unlock this skill. The process of awakening your intuition is like dusting off an old tool you've always had but never knew how to use. Once you start listening, you'll wonder how you ever got by without it. Imagine making decisions without overthinking, feeling a deep sense of alignment with your actions, and knowing exactly what steps to take next. That's the power of listening to your intuition. But here's where it gets real: if you keep ignoring that inner voice, the noise of the world will only get louder, and so will your confusion. Do you really want to keep second-guessing yourself and letting opportunities pass you by? Or are you ready to tune into the most reliable guide you'll ever have? This guide will show you how to do just that. By the end of it, you'll have the tools to not only hear your intuition, but trust it to lead you to a life that feels right on every level. Curious? Let's dive in and start reconnecting with the wisdom that's been within you all along. There's an incredible power inside each of us that often goes untapped: the power of intuition. This inner voice is always present, waiting for us to listen, to pay attention. It's like a soft whisper guiding us toward the path we're meant to take, yet so many ignore it. Why? Because they're not aware of how to use their intuition. They haven't been taught how to listen to their intuition, to trust that gentle nudge that pulls them in a certain direction. But when we begin to tap into that wisdom, everything starts to make sense, and the fog of uncertainty clears. Take a moment to think about the times when you just knew something, no logical explanation, just a gut feeling. That's your intuition at work. It's not about following wild impulses, it's about hearing your intuition speak in those quiet moments. Have you ever had a hunch, a feeling deep down, telling you not to do something or to take a leap? That's the power of intuition at its finest, offering clarity when our rational minds can't. Yet, many still ask, what is intuition? Or how can I follow my intuition? The answer lies in learning to hear that inner voice over the noise of the world. To awaken your intuition, you need to create space in your life for it to emerge. It's like meeting an old friend who's been trying to call you, but you've been too busy to answer. Learning how to listen to your intuition starts with quieting the external chatter. Meditation, for instance, is a great tool to awaken intuition, helping you to focus inward rather than on the distractions around you. When you develop intuition, you begin to see how simple decisions become easier because you're listening to your inner voice and following your heart. It's important to understand that this journey to connect with your intuition doesn't happen overnight. It's a process, but it's one that gets easier the more you practice. Imagine intuition like a muscle. The more you use it, the stronger it becomes. As you practice listening to your intuition, you'll find that the answers to life's most complex questions start to feel clearer. You won't have to ask, how do I use my intuition? Because you'll be living in sync with it. In today's world, distractions are everywhere. We're constantly bombarded with information, opinions, and expectations from others. This external noise makes it nearly impossible to hear our inner voice, much less trust it. The challenge of how to listen to your intuition grows when social media, work pressures, and societal norms drown it out. People often wonder why they can't hear their intuition, but the reality is simple: it's hard to hear something soft when the world is shouting at you. To truly tap into your intuition, you have to turn down the volume on everything else. Think about it. How many times have you been overwhelmed by outside advice, only to realize later that what you truly needed was to follow your heart and intuition? It's easy to get lost in what others think you should do, losing touch with your own instincts. Developing intuition requires quieting those distractions, learning how to filter out the noise, and reconnecting with yourself. This isn't always easy, but it's essential. One practical way to do this is by spending time alone in nature, away from screens and interruptions, where you can truly hear your intuition. Sometimes, external distractions aren't just about noise or busyness, they're about fear. Society conditions us to doubt ourselves, to second-guess our intuition. We're often taught to value logic over feeling, which can suppress our inner voice. When you're in a constant state of doing, you lose the ability to simply be. And it's in the being, in those moments of stillness, that your intuition speaks the loudest. Learning how to hear your intuition is less about effort and more about creating the space for it to emerge. In reality, there's no need to fight the distractions head-on. Instead, it's about gently shifting your focus. Instead of letting external influences drive your decisions, take time each day to check in with your inner self. How do you feel about a situation before you ask for advice or scroll through social media? This simple practice will awaken your intuition, making it easier to tune into that subtle guidance. And as you begin to develop this connection, you'll find that the distractions lose their grip on you, leading you naturally to the next key step in this journey. Intuition plays a critical role in guiding us through life, acting as a compass that points us toward the direction we're meant to follow. It goes beyond the limits of rational thought, accessing a deeper level of understanding that connects us to something much larger than ourselves. When people ask, "What is intuition?" the answer lies in its ability to reveal truths that aren't always visible on the surface. It's like having an internal GPS, one that's powered by universal wisdom. The more you learn how to use your intuition, the more you'll see it as your most reliable guide, offering insights that logic alone can't provide. We've all experienced moments where a sudden feeling or instinct told us something important, even if it didn't make sense at the time. That's the power of intuition at work. It doesn't rely on facts or data. Instead, it taps into a broader network of knowledge that transcends the conscious mind. When you follow your intuition, you're following a path that's uniquely yours, a path that aligns with your true purpose. Think about it like this: when you develop intuition, it's like putting on a pair of glasses that help you see life with clarity, even when things seem uncertain. Many successful individuals credit their achievements to listening to their inner voice. They didn't always know the how or the why of their decisions, but they trusted their intuition to guide them through tough choices. Intuition can guide you through moments of doubt or confusion, leading you to outcomes that might have seemed impossible before. It's the quiet whisper in your heart that says, "Go this way," when everyone else might be telling you to do the opposite. Learning how to follow your intuition takes practice, but once you do, you'll notice that it becomes your greatest ally in navigating life's challenges. The beauty of intuition is that it often bypasses the need for endless analysis or overthinking. When faced with a difficult decision, rather than running through every possible outcome, try tapping into your intuition. Ask yourself, "How do I really feel about this?" The answer will often come quicker than expected, and it will feel right. This is how you can start to trust your intuition and let it guide you. The more you lean into this process, the easier it becomes, naturally leading you to the next step, learning to cultivate presence. To truly listen to your intuition, you need to cultivate a deep sense of presence. In the present moment, all distractions fade, and your inner voice becomes clearer. This is where you can really start to hear your intuition, when you're fully engaged with what's happening right now, rather than getting lost in the past or future. The mind is often cluttered with thoughts, worries, and distractions, but intuition speaks through the subtle, quiet moments of now. It's in these moments that symbols, synchronicities, and intuitive flashes make themselves known, guiding you with a wisdom that's beyond ordinary understanding. Take, for example, the feeling you get when something just clicks. That's often your intuition breaking through the noise of everyday life, telling you, this is the right choice. But to reach that point, you need to be present. You can't tap into your intuition if your mind is always racing ahead or stuck reliving the past. Practicing mindfulness, even in simple ways like focusing on your breath or engaging fully in a task, helps develop this presence. The more present you are, the more attuned you become to the subtle cues that your intuition offers. Learning how to listen to your intuition means slowing down enough to notice when it's trying to speak. Being present also allows you to notice the synchronicities that life often presents. Have you ever thought about something and then immediately seen a sign or had a chance encounter that seemed perfectly timed? That's no coincidence, it's your intuition and the universe aligning to guide you. These moments are easier to recognize when you're fully present, aware of the subtle ways your intuition communicates. People often ask how to hear their intuition, and the answer lies in paying attention to these seemingly small yet significant signs. Cultivating presence doesn't mean you have to sit in silence for hours every day. It's about bringing awareness to whatever you're doing. Whether you're having a conversation, walking outside, or even washing dishes, there's an opportunity to stay present and open to the whispers of your inner voice. When you learn how to use your intuition, you begin to notice that life is constantly offering you guidance. All you have to do is listen. And as you build this connection, you'll find that it naturally leads to the next step, practicing introspection. To strengthen your connection to intuition, introspection is key. It's in moments of deep reflection that your inner voice becomes louder and more clear. Introspection practices, such as deep relaxation or meditation, allow you to release tension and create a sacred space where your intuition can speak. Think of it as clearing away the mental clutter to make room for insight. Many people ask how to listen to their intuition, and the answer often starts with carving out time to slow down, quiet the mind, and simply be. Without this inner stillness, intuition remains hidden beneath the surface. One of the simplest introspective practices you can adopt is a daily check-in with yourself. Take 5 minutes in the morning to sit quietly, close your eyes, and focus on your breathing. As your body relaxes and your mind calms, ask yourself, what do I feel today, or what is my intuition trying to tell me? These moments of silence open the door to your inner voice. It might not shout, but it will begin to whisper answers. This is how to awaken your intuition and begin the process of developing a deeper connection with it. Journaling is another powerful tool for introspection. By writing down your thoughts and emotions, you give your intuition a space to emerge on paper. You may find that as you write, answers to questions you've been struggling with come to light. Many people use this practice to track patterns in their intuition. The more you document your gut feelings and decisions, the more you'll notice how often your intuition was right. This process helps build trust in your inner voice, showing you firsthand how to follow your intuition more consistently. Incorporating relaxation techniques into your daily routine is also crucial for tapping into your intuition. Activities like yoga, breathwork, or even taking a walk in nature can help you release the stress and mental chatter that block your intuitive insights. When your body and mind are at ease, you create the perfect environment for your intuition to be heard. These introspective practices are foundational in learning how to use your intuition, helping you connect more deeply with your inner self and paving the way to trusting your intuition more fully in everyday life. Trusting your intuition can feel like a leap of faith at times, especially when it contradicts logic or external advice. But intuition is subtle and reliable, always present to guide you, even when it's not the loudest voice in the room. The challenge many face is differentiating between intuition and fear, societal conditioning, or wishful thinking. Learning how to listen to your intuition is about developing a deep trust in that quiet knowing, allowing it to steer you even when your mind wants to question everything. This process takes time, but once you start trusting your intuition, life flows more effortlessly. A helpful way to distinguish intuition from fear is to focus on how each makes you feel. Intuition often feels calm and clear, even if the message it brings might challenge you. Fear, on the other hand, tends to be urgent and panicked, pushing you into action out of anxiety. By practicing mindfulness and becoming more aware of your emotional responses, you can start to recognize when your intuition is speaking versus when your fear is taking over. This is a crucial part of learning how to follow your intuition without letting other influences cloud your judgment. Trusting your intuition grows with experience. The more you act on it, the more you'll see how it guides you toward positive outcomes, even when those outcomes weren't obvious at first. People often find that once they begin to trust their intuition, things seem to just work out. It's not magic, it's the result of aligning with your inner wisdom. When you start to develop intuition, you'll notice patterns in your life where your gut feeling led you down the right path, even when it didn't make sense at the time. This trust builds over time and becomes an invaluable guide in making decisions. If you're unsure how to use intuition in everyday situations, start small. Trust your intuition on minor choices, like what to eat or which route to take home, and see how it feels. As you gain confidence, you'll be able to rely on your intuition for more significant life decisions. Remember, the key to developing intuition is to act on it consistently, even when you don't have all the answers. The more you trust your inner voice, the more it will reward you with clarity and guidance, naturally leading into the next phase, allowing intuition to inspire creativity. Creativity is one of the most beautiful expressions of intuition at work. When artists, writers, or musicians tap into that flow state, they're not relying solely on skill or knowledge, they're listening to their inner voice, allowing it to guide their next move. This is where the power of intuition shines, often revealing ideas and solutions that logic alone couldn't uncover. When people ask how to tap into their intuition, especially in creative endeavors, the answer is often to get out of your own way. Let go of control and trust that your intuition knows what needs to come through. Think of a painter standing before a blank canvas. At first, there's no clear picture in their mind, just a feeling, a subtle pull towards certain colors or shapes. As they begin to paint, intuition takes over, guiding each brushstroke. This same process happens in any form of creativity, whether it's writing, composing music, or even problem solving at work. The best ideas often come when we stop trying to force them and simply allow them to flow. That's intuition speaking. When you follow your intuition in creative work, you tap into a limitless source of inspiration that's available to everyone. However, creativity doesn't thrive in chaos. You need to create space for your intuition to come forward. It's why so many artists talk about rituals or habits that help them get into the creative zone. Meditation, journaling, or simply sitting in silence before beginning a creative task can help awaken your intuition and set the stage for inspiration to flow freely. By learning how to listen to your intuition, you can bypass the self-doubt or overthinking that often blocks creativity. The more you trust this process, the more naturally creative ideas will come to you. It's important to remember that intuition speaks in the present moment, especially in creative endeavors. You won't find it by worrying about the future or rehashing past mistakes. When you're fully present, your inner voice can guide you toward choices that feel right in the moment, whether that's the next note in a song or the next line in a story. Trusting this flow allows for a deeper connection to your creativity and opens the door to new possibilities. And as you practice being present, you'll find that intuition becomes a constant companion, leading into the next vital point, learning to live fully in the present. Being present is the foundation of truly hearing your intuition. Your inner voice doesn't operate in the past or future, it speaks only in the now. When your mind is busy with regrets or future anxieties, it's almost impossible to hear what your intuition is trying to tell you. That's why learning to be present is crucial if you want to tap into the power of intuition. It's in this state of presence that you'll start to recognize the subtle nudges, insights, and feelings that come from within, guiding you toward decisions that align with your true self. Think about moments when you've been fully absorbed in an activity, whether it's cooking, playing a sport, or even having a deep conversation. In those moments, time seems to stand still, and your mind isn't racing. This is the state where intuition thrives. When people ask how to use their intuition, the answer often starts with learning how to be fully present. Simple practices, like focusing on your breath or engaging all your senses in the task at hand, can help you reconnect with the present moment and, by extension, your intuition. Living in the present doesn't mean ignoring the future or pretending the past didn't happen. It's about giving your full attention to where you are right now. When you develop intuition, you begin to realize that the answers you're searching for often don't come from analyzing what's already happened or stressing about what's to come. They emerge in those moments of stillness, where you're open to the wisdom your intuition offers. You don't need to look for signs or symbols actively. When you are present, they'll naturally reveal themselves. If you're wondering how to follow your intuition, start by practicing being more present in your daily life. When you feel a strong pull or a gut feeling about something, take a pause, breathe, and ask yourself, what is my intuition telling me right now? This simple habit will help you stay grounded in the moment and more in tune with your inner voice. As you practice presence, you'll find that your intuition becomes louder and clearer, guiding you not just in big life decisions, but in the small, everyday moments as well. And with that clarity, the next natural step is to start applying this intuition to create the life you want. Now that you've learned how to tap into your intuition, the real question is, what are you going to do with this knowledge? Are you going to continue living in the noise, second-guessing every decision? Or are you ready to make a change and trust that inner voice that's been trying to guide you all along? Imagine the possibilities when you start living in alignment with your intuition. No more hesitation, no more doubt. You have the power to make this shift, but it all starts with taking that first step. Will you choose to listen? Ask yourself, how different would your life look if you trusted your intuition more? What opportunities have you missed because you ignored that gut feeling? The answers are already within you, but you have to be willing to act on them. It's time to stop letting fear or external opinions hold you back. Your intuition is your greatest ally, and it's waiting for you to unlock its full potential. Are you ready to take that leap? If so, start applying these principles today and watch how your life transforms in ways you never thought possible. So, here's your next move. If you found this guide helpful, make sure to subscribe to the channel and hit that notification bell. Why? Because this is just the beginning. There's so much more to learn about how to live in alignment with your intuition, and you don't want to miss any of it. Together, we'll continue this journey toward mastering the power of intuition, and trust me, you won't want to go through life without it. Let's keep growing, keep learning, and most importantly, keep listening to that inner voice.